Okay, let's go to our discussion on remedies, continuation, or assessment based on best evidence obtainable. Okay, this is very short, brothers and sisters, kasi more on process lang din to. Okay, what are the requirements before the BIR can issue an assessment based on best evidence obtainable? Okay, so dapat meron munang LOA or tax verification notice, dapat merong subpoena, dapat merong criminal action. And the criminal action is the failure to obey summons. Now, why is that there is an assessment based on best evidence obtainable, but meron ito? Okay, what are the grounds? And when can the BIR issue this kind of assessment? Very simple lang. The documents are not forthcoming. Ibig sabihin, the BIR is forced, compelled to issue an assessment based on available evidence. Bakit? Kasi nawawala yung dokumento ni taxpayer Ayaw ni taxpayer mag-produce ng document. Hindi niya pinipresent. Alam namang si BIR, magantay na lang, nga. They cannot do that because there's prescription. Okay, ano pa? The reports are incomplete. Biruin mo, sinabit lang cash flow statement, walang balance sheet, walang income statement. Paano makakapag-assess si BIR? Nagbigay nga ng books, debit lang, walang credit. Okay, incomplete. Pwedeng mag-assess based on best evidence obtainable. Or, meron nga reports pero false naman, hindi totoo. Or, erroneous. Mali-mali ang submission. O kaya, not understandable. Nasa Chinese character lahat yon. Paano malalaman ni BIR yan? So, under these grounds, the BIR can issue an assessment based on the best evidence obtainable. Now, these are the different methods, okay, when the BIR issues an assessment based on best evidence obtainable. Ang assessment, pwedeng based on estimate yan. Bakit nila ine-estimate? Kasi hindi nga kompleto yung dokumento or false or erroneous. So ngayon, pwedeng average method yan. Okay, halimbawa 2019-2020, merong assessment sa income VAT at saka EWT. Ayan, i-average natin yan. O ang average nito, magkano? 1.5 million. Average of these two. Average ng deficiency VAT, 1 million. 1 million yan. Average neto, 400,000. So yan ang mga assessments based on estimate. I-average yung mga deficiency. Later, ang example natin doon sa based on estimate, 50%. Okay, based on invoices or official receipts. Okay, pangalawa, net worth method. Remember the doctrine of proprietary interests. Any increases in net worth is presumed to be coming from an income that is taxable. Okay? So, tignan mo to. Dati, ang asset lang niya 3 million in 2020. Tapos, naging 10 million. Utang, no liabilities, no change. So, ang net worth niya nagkaroon ng increase ng 7 million. So, ano yung presumption dito? It came from a taxable income. Hindi nag-declare sa taxpayer. Kaya pwede mag-assess based on net worth method. Applicable to sa mga government employees, no? Ang statement of assets, liabilities, and net worth nila, sobrang baba. Pero ang bahay, ang laki-laki. Yung mga vloggers na nag-flex ng mga assets nila, they're not filing returns. Pero ang sasakyan, ang mga bahay, ang gagara. So, pwede yan net worth method. Okay? Dito naman tayo, expense method, brothers and sisters. Ang sweldo, 20,000 per month. Ang gastos, 100,000 per month. So, the difference is presumed to be coming from an undeclared income. Bakit ka gagastos ng 100,000 kung 20,000 lang yung income mo? So, itong discrepancy na to, pwedeng ma-assess yan under expense method based sa best evidence obtainable. Okay? Now, what are the things that you need to remember? Mga kapatid, prima facie, valid yung lahat ng assessments ni BIR. Okay? So, ito, disputable presumption yan. Meaning, if there's proof na yan ay walang basihan, void ang assessment. The assessment must be based on sufficient evidence. Okay, bakit? In relation to that, brothers and sisters, the presumption of correctness of assessment being a mere presumption, kasi nga nag-estimate lang cannot be made to rest on another. Example, it was determined that the salary of this employee is 20,000 per month. Pero, Tapos, hindi pwedeng hulaan yung expense. Ay, tingin ko, ang expense mo, 80,000 per month. Hindi pwedeng ganon. Kailangan, or 100,000 per month. Kailangan merong basihan. Example, yung kanyang credit card, 100,000 per month on the average ang kanyang mga binabayaran using credit card. Aba, merong sufficient evidence to assess the taxpayer kasi merong proof eh. Pero hindi pwede manghula na ay feeling ko ang gastos mo ganito. Hindi pwede 'yan. Okay, another example. Merong isang ghost flood control contractor na congressman. Sabi niya dinideliver niya every month 2 billion. Okay, let's just say na ano yan, for purposes of discussion lang. 2 billion daw. Ngayon nalaman ni BIR, 2 billion pala ang quota mo na binibigay sa dalawang tao na to. O di yung dalawang tao na to, inassess kagad ng 2 billion. Deficiency tax per month. Aba, mali. Dapat merong sufficient evidence. Hindi pwedeng kwento-kwento lang. Okay, because again, we are assuming here, no? Merong kang nag-estimate lang tayo dito. Kaya dapat yung estimate dapat merong basihan. Hindi pwedeng puro kwento lang. Okay? Assessment based on best evidence obtainable does not apply kapag arbitrary or capriciously. Ibig sabihin na feeling ko 1 million per month ang income mo. Hindi pwedeng ganon. Feeling ko ang gastos mo 1 million per month. Arbitrary ang tawag dyan. Okay, tapos assessment based on best evidence rule does not automatically considered as doubtful assessment. Meaning kapag doubtful ang assessment, ito yung sa 40% doubtful validity. Hindi siya automatic na ganyan. Okay? Now, let's go now to the illustration ng best evidence based on estimate 50%. Okay, the ABC Corpus issued a LOA. Check tayo sa unang requirement. The taxpayer refused to provide the documents relevant to the audit, thus a subpoena was issued. Check ang pangalawang requirement. And consequently, after failing to comply, kinasuhan, criminal action. Ay, check ang tatlong requirement. Ibig sabihin, sinunod ang procedural rules. Accordingly, the legal division informed the RDO that an assessment based on best evidence obtainable may be issued. So kapag ganito, halimbawa ito yung financial statements niya, income statement. Since wala namang proof ng under declaration, same pa rin yan. Pero yung mga cash outlay, sinabi ang meron daw siyang purchases na 5 million. Asan ang proof? Wala. Di 50% lang. Okay? Yung beginning ending inventory, hindi yung gagalawin. Meron daw binayaran na salary, meron daw losses, meron daw rent, utilities. Asan ang proof? Wala. Di 50% lang yan, pwede. Depreciation, same yan. Non-cash kasi yan, non-cash outlay. Nagbayad daw ng tax, may transport, representation expense. Asan ang proof? Wala. 50%. Kaya nga 50% lahat ang nakapula. So, any adjustment therefore, yan ay subject to deficiency tax assessment based on best evidence obtainable. Okay, napakasimple lang nito. So, ayan.